Welcome to another video to improve your Google Ads knowledge. In this video, I want to discuss an important aspect of marketing in general, remarketing. Targeting the users who have previously interacted with your business or product. It's been a while since my last video because I had to take a break due to a medical condition. Now, of course, I have done a lot of online research about my condition and the treatment, and now I just want to leave it behind and move on. Luckily, I cannot be chased by ads reminding me of this experience because of Google's personalized advertising policy. When designing a marketing strategy, too many people forget about one very important question. Is your product or service remarketing eligible? So let's go over some of the basics to understand the policy better. For most people, the terms remarketing and retargeting seem clear enough, but even that differentiation causes a lot of debate. Personalized advertising is even more vague. In this video, I will use the term remarketing because it is the most commonly used term. First of all, it's important to understand it's the personalized advertising policy and not the remarketing policy. Personalized advertising encompasses more than just remarketing would. And this policy differentiates between two different types of audiences. Advertiser curated and predefined by Google. Mostly, it is only advertiser curated audiences that will be limited or disabled. Before we dive into the policy topics, let's understand how this policy is enforced. This policy can be enforced on domain, list, or ad level. Let's break that down with the example of Target and alcohol. There is no reference to alcohol on their homepage, not even beer on their game day pics. There is, however, amongst other alcoholic beverages, a bottle of rosé on their grocery page. But on their Valentine's Day page, a page they are most likely advertising for, there is no reference to alcohol. On their Circle Offers page, also likely to be an ad destination, it doesn't show any offers for alcohol. In the all category, no matter how much I keep scrolling, I do not encounter any alcohol. There is, however, the adult beverages category, and when I select this category, the URL changes. This will allow them to exclude the adult beverages pages from their list. So how does this apply on domain, list, and ad level? Their domain will likely not be flagged as inappropriate because the reference to alcohol is so minor. It's probably so minor because of disapprovals in the past. They most likely have an elaborate setup where page visits to alcohol pages are excluded from their remarketing lists. Now, the domain of an actual alcohol brand actually will be disabled on domain level. Then list level. If Target tried to create a list based on visits to the alcohol pages, that list would get disabled. And on ad level, if they try to use their general no alcohol remarketing list, but they send those ads to an alcohol page as a landing page, that ad would get disapproved. Or at the very least, limited approved for alcohol in personalized advertising. So let's get into the specifics of the policy. There are 5 main categories, each with their own subcategories. In some cases, you can advertise normally for this topic, only remarketing is off limits. To avoid overcomplicating this video, I will not get into all of the details of the complete policy, but stick to the personalized advertising side of it. The categories are legal, personal hardships, identity and belief, sexual interests, and access to opportunities. This video would be very long and boring if I'd go over all of the points, so I will stick to the most common issues and surprises I believe advertisers deal with. If you have any specific questions for something related to your business, please feel free to let me know in the comments and I will do my best to clarify. Biggest subcategories of legal are alcohol and gambling. We already covered alcohol a bit with the Target example. One case that came to me as a Google Ads consultant was for a gift basket company. Their business had been running for a few years and their remarketing audiences and campaigns were responsible for a significant portion of their conversions. One day, their remarketing lists were disabled. It was because they added bottles of wine to their baskets. This was highlighted on almost every page and heavily promoted on the homepage. They were not aware of any alcohol-related policies. Another thing people often don't realize is that drinks that resemble alcohol, such as non-alcoholic beers, also fall under this policy. Gambling, particularly online gambling, has a very elaborate policy in general. For some kinds of gambling, advertising is not allowed at all, but remarketing is out of the question for all, even if it's only a simulator and no real money is involved. Physical gambling establishments are allowed to run remarketing if they are not actually promoting gambling, but instead a concert or dinner shows at a casino. The next main category is personal hardships. This is quite broad and basically relates to anything that could be a negative event or circumstance in someone's life, such as my medical treatment. This goes for products like medication, services like counseling, and even just information. This goes for informational blogs, but books also fall under this bucket. The biggest subcategory is health. Nearly everything that falls under the health vertical is disabled for remarketing. This applies to physical health for products such as EpiPens or inhalers, and services like physical therapy, as well as mental health, such as depression counseling services. Disabilities in the broadest sense of the word is also included in this policy, and it applies to caregivers as well, not just the user with the condition, which means that a forum for parents of children with disabilities cannot use remarketing. While a few examples are given in the policy article, I could give examples for hours. One thing that also falls under health, and what surprises people the most, is pregnancy. Anything related to pregnancy, including maternity wear. Multiple subcategories such as negative financial status, crime-related matters, or abuse and trauma prevent you from remarketing your product or services even if it serves to help those people. The next main category is identity and belief. Political ads have a very strict policy. Anything related to political ideologies or opinions is banned from remarketing. To take it one step further, in some cases an ad can be labeled as an election ad. These will only be able to target through demographic features such as age, gender, and geo-targeting, but not radius targeting. Even Google's predefined audiences such as affinity audiences are not allowed to use for election ads. Religious belief covers religious places, education, and products. There are some famous churches in the world that are hardly a place of worship anymore and are more like touristic attractions. These places are exempt from the policy. Other subcategories include race and ethnicity, and while people are not surprised you cannot single out a race to target, this includes racially or ethnically oriented universities. Sexual orientation or gender identification includes gay travel, gay dating, information about sexuality, information about gender transitioning or coming out. And from sexual orientation, it's a small jump to the next main category, sexual interests. Now, it's a bit unclear to me why Google singled out birth control as a separate subcategory, as the next subcategory is all sexual content. So let's go back to Target for a minute. It's not just their alcoholic pages and references they need to take into consideration when setting up their remarketing. They also have their sexual wellness page with condoms, lube, and toys that need to be excluded from their remarketing list, and any remarketing ad cannot lead to this landing page. And just like gambling and politics, among others, sexual content has an elaborate policy in addition to their personalized advertising policy. Access to opportunities, the final category, only applies to the US and Canada. No demographic targeting is allowed for housing, employment, and credit ads. Now, I once worked with a real estate company who unfortunately had been told by their previous consultant that he couldn't set up demographic targeting. His ads were targeting the Netherlands, and this policy only applies to the US and Canada. So there we go. These are, in my experience, the biggest remarketing topics to be aware of. I couldn't go over all of the details and exceptions, but if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below and I will try to help you. Good luck with your remarketing campaigns, and I hope I didn't just ruin your remarketing plans. For now, I want to thank you for watching this video and hope to see you on the next one.